Now, let's still stay with the NPP because a former Secretary General of the NPP has described as unrealistic proposal for Alan and Bawumia pairing come 2024 elections. Speaking in an interview on the AM show, Ohene Ntow said the presidential candidate ought to have the sole prerogative of choosing whom they want to go with, as stipulated by the party's constitution.
Let's have an Alan Bawumia pairing.
Oh, that one, they've asked me several times. I said, that is not a realistic proposal.
Why not?
That is not a proposal to be considered. Now, if you look at the party's constitution, the candidate, after being elected, has the constitutional right and privilege to nominate his running mate.
Right.
And then the council endorses it, and then we go. Now, in the case of Nana Akufo-Addo, in 2007, after the primary, 2008, he needed to come up with a running mate. He proposed a name. Most of council members did not support. So then he was not happy, really, but he had to reconsider. Within the period, some members also proposed a name to Nana Akufo-Addo. He didn't like the name. He wasn't happy. There were a lot of backroom discussion. It didn't work. He rejected it. And then enter Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was not even a member of the party at all. So you can imagine what kind of opposition and reaction there are. So you couldn't find anybody who is a member, qualified under our constitution.
You have to go outside the party.
5 years, good standing. So no, yes, no, yes. There was a huge
So on
fight.
the back of those democratic principles, we should just leave matters be.
Wait a second. Yes, wait a second. So then, even when Dr. Bawumia was not a member of the party, after a long discussion, President Kufuor said, look, the constitution says the candidate has a right.
Right.
So let us consider it for him. After all, when he becomes president and he's the vice president, he's the one he's going to work closely with personally. So in that respect, apart from the constitutional stuff, when you pre-arrange, what have you done? You are foisting a running mate on whoever becomes the...
So by all means, former President Kufuor, who says let the democratic principles
exactly,
go.
and it did work. And then also, and then just to finish off with it, you see, when you do that, now, you have set what I will consider to be a very dangerous precedent, because once it becomes a precedent, why shouldn't anybody in the future, if it suits them, also refer to it?
Let's just have a partner.
Let the constitution help you.
He says Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should consider deferring his intention to contest the 2024 presidential election in the wake of the current economic crisis and the many criticisms against him.
Our current government, in terms of the economy, has been directed at the Vice President. And if you hit the streets, you hear a lot of the criticism. As a party person, I would just say that, look, incidentally, the Vice President is still also a bit younger than Alan Chamating. He has a bit of time. Two, if it is the case that a lot of the criticism that NPP is facing on the economic front, even the President, people don't even talk about him much, the Vice President. Now, if you go and put that same face on your ballot paper, and you ask the President, the people, majority of whom are apparently complaining about this person, then it means that you are forcing the people that whether they like it or not, they should vote. So you look at the perception, you look at the vibes, you look at the... So I would suggest that in that same vein, and I do agree with the principle that I set, I would say that maybe the Vice President should recede a little bit for now, spend some time, and then that criticism, oh, you have always been the chairman of the EMT. People say, but Alan was a member. Yes, you're a member, you're not chairman. You're not vice president. You're not in that position. So some of these issues, but that will be my suggestion. Of course, nobody can stop anyone who has an
So for you, yes, democratically speaking, we all have that level playing field, so to speak.
I am sure that the criticism that I used
just to get it clear,
John Mahama, I'm sure some people might use it also against... Yeah,
but you are suggesting that on the back of everything that has happened and the negativity and the perception, the Vice President should step aside.
That's what my suggestion is. But
and not contest for the flag bearership.
That is my suggestion.